Can you see me there? Okay.
Hey.
Trying to
I
get
just
this.
went live. We ain't got nobody viewing yet, but I just
Okay.
I just went live.
Yeah,
And I
I
don't know
was
what
like,
Serena at. Call her. I don't know what she at.
I was set up
Can
here.
you hear me?
I can hear you good. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I had to get myself together, throw on a cap right quick.
Oh no. Why you had to put on a cap?
Hair looking like a hot mess.
Hey man, I thought having a bad hair day was part of it.
uh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like to let nobody know that hair ain't right.
Uh-uh. Now I would have worn if it was back in a ponytail, but I had just took it down, so I'm like, oh no. I had
That's
just took it down, so I was
funny.
like, nah, let me throw this cap on.
Oh man.
I wonder what Serena
I don't know, cause I called her. She ain't answer the phone. I texted her first to see which email she wanted me to send it to, but
uh-huh.
then I called her. She ain't answer the phone, so I don't know where she at.
I seen uh-uh. And I seen where I guess his name Dion. Is it Dion?
Dion.
Is his name Dion or I can't even think of the name. I was trying to find it.
Oh, we got some views. Well, let me welcome everybody back to the Papa Black Podcast. I know I haven't been visual or visible the last couple of weeks, but just trying to organize a couple of things and so we can get some set times instead of just going up random. But it's we back. I want to welcome back Miss Queen.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi
how you doing
everybody.
today? You all right today?
Yes, yes. Hanging in there, hanging in there.
That's a
They
good
pretty
thing. It's
much
so
over
much.
with, but I'm still hanging in there.
Yeah, it's so much going on. You know what I mean? It's crazy out here, man. This gas. How you feel about this? This goddamn gas.
Oh my gosh. Good thing I only go to the office one day a week. But this gas is crazy. Especially with the activities
Man,
my daughter in, so it's
man, I
crazy.
seen gas go up yesterday 30 cents in one day. I was like, man, this shit went from 3.99 to 4.29 real quick.
And
I was
the gas
like,
I got 4.29. The gas I got last night it was like 4.51. I'm like 4.51,
hey
and I
man,
used the
this shit,
middle. Used the mid grade, so
right?
it's like that's pretty steep.
Yeah, I'm gonna start pouring some water in mine or something. But boy, I ain't
Yeah,
gonna be going over nobody's house. Ain't nobody gonna see me till this shit go back down.
exactly. So and not at all. So what we gonna hop on tonight?
I don't know, man. I don't know what Serena. I thought she was gonna have a question tonight, but no. I will. I do want to talk about this though. Like
Mhm.
when before you got married, was you submissive with him as a boyfriend, or did it start when you got married?
Um, See, that word submissive get thrown around a lot. So
Yeah.
for me, I have to know when you ask me that question, what is your definition of submissive? Because my definition is not the so-called quote unquote standard of what people consider submissive. Like I could tell you, because like I said, when I got with him, I was already celibate for a whole year and a half.
Right.
So I had to readjust to being in a relationship, starting out first. But um, I'm gonna tell you my definition of submissive
Right.
is pretty much us working together as a unit and making things happen. Um, like if we talk about something, I want to be the one who probably put it out there because I do look at him as the head of household. He would probably go and, we already don't talked about it, but he'll be the presenter. Let's say that.
Right.
That's how I look at being, for as submissive. But if you're talking about, oh, he say this, he the head, you have to do this, then no, we don't have that type of marriage. No, we're
Right.
not that kind of marriage. And we haven't had
Well,
kind of
with
make
him being gone most of the time, I'm sure that you have to pretty much make most of the decision.
no, actually, no. We actually still talk about it before a decision is made.
Oh,
Like
okay.
regard, even though I'm a military spouse. Like I told you before, if we don't agree, nothing happens. Like we
Right.
both have to reach a mutual agreement that we're both comfortable with before we proceed. So now, even with him being here and there, like deployed or something, if he get a chance to call, it might be something going on. I might say, "Hey, babe, XYZ. What you think about this?" He might like, "Well, let me think about a couple of days or whatever, and then we're gonna talk about it again." Especially if he's deployed. But if he's here stateside, we usually talk about it right away and make some
Oh, okay.
decisions. Yeah.
Right.
So no, I just have to really know what that word is.
and I
Everybody,
and I
women be like, "Oh, I'm submissive. He take care of this. He does this,
nah,
and whatever he say." I mean, because you have some women that's like that, you
very
know.
few.
Uh, yeah, there is quite a yes,
It's very few.
yes,
Most black women, especially, they headstrong. So
yeah,
they definitely gonna want some kind of say so.
yeah.
And
I
like
think
I
it's.
tell women all the time, well, go
I'm
ahead.
about to say, it's have been some times where he might run something by me, and I'm like, "Baby, whatever you want to do, like, I'm down with whatever."
Right,
And then he
right,
just go ahead and proceed. And he be like, "Well, this is what I came up with." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm done." Because if I say that, even if he came up with something that I would have been like, I wouldn't thought you would have made that decision, I'm still gonna roll with it. Because I already said whatever you say, whatever you want to roll with.
right,
I mean, whatever decision is made, I'm cool with either way. And I'm not gonna be, reneging and saying, "Well, I wouldn't have did that. I don't know why." No, because I had a chance to put an input in the
right,
situation, but at that time I was like, it's no big deal, just roll with it. So yeah.
right. And I think most women have a problem with it because they don't really understand what it means. And like I tell women all the time, I can only speak for me, but
Hmm.
like I tell women, if y'all think about it, y'all run 90% of the house anyway. Like we don't want to have to deal with all the details of
True.
running a house. So my thing is let me make the final decision on something major
Hmm.
because if it don't go right, you're gonna look for me to solve the problem anyway. That's
Yes.
natural. So I feel like if I'm the one that got to solve the problem, I should be, consulted
Make
about it. And yeah, let me make the decision, or let me know what you want to do about the situation. And
yeah.
95% of the time, y'all gonna get what y'all want because, like I say, we try not to worry about the house.
Yes.
Is so what I
I
mean? Like
like I always say, everybody relationship and everybody marriage is different. I kind of disagree. I think if it's a major decision, now if it's something minor, yeah, go ahead and make the decision. No big deal. But if it's major, like it's gonna make a difference in the things that we're doing, we got to talk about that. Like
yeah, I'm saying like
it's
95% of the time, if you tell me what you thinking about it, nine times out of ten, I'm gonna go with what you thinking. But I do wanna have the final input on it because, like I say, if
yeah.
something go wrong, it's the man job to fix the problem. And like
So
when
go
y'all
ahead.
can't figure something out, y'all look to us. We
Yes,
don't
true,
always have we don't always have the answers.
true, true.
So what I mean. It might take me some time to go and research or do what I got
Mhm.
to do to what I mean, give you the right
The
answer.
answer,
You know what I mean?
yes,
Right. So,
yeah.
but
Because
like
when
I
you
said,
said,
just
I think when you said, uh, I want to make the final decision, kind of like what I told you, like with us, the final decision is when we both mutually agree. Like we don't have to agree
yeah,
on everything,
Oh,
but
and
we
we
both
not.
have made an agreement that's satisfactory to both of us. And then he would proceed with orchestrating whatever it might be.
Right,
And I'd
right,
be in the background, but like, oh, we already don't talk about that. But he's on the forefront,
right,
making it happen, even though we made the decision together
right.
in the process. So yes, that
I mean,
part is
you pretty
what I
much saying what the same thing I'm saying. I just like I
yeah,
said, I don't talk cute.
yeah.
You can you can make it sound more diplomatic, but I don't talk cute. I get
Yeah.
straight to it.
So you on top cube black.
No, I don't know how. You know what I mean?
Say
So
no, you ain't about talking cute.
yeah, just like I say, let me know what you plan on doing, and then if I agree with it, I'll be like, okay, well, go ahead, do your thing, or I might
Yeah,
know a different way of doing it. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
true,
So
true.
especially if it's something that you don't know anything about.
Yes, true.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
I done did a lot. I done been through a lot. I done seen a lot. You know what I mean?
yes,
So
yes,
it ain't too many things I can't fix, or I might have some people that can help us because I
yes.
got contacts
Contacts and stuff
all
like
over the
that.
world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
But I'm telling you right
yeah,
now, I call my husband a research king. Like we laugh
right,
about it.
right,
But
right,
I would say he researched the research. I'm like, you
right.
researching it, you
That's
already don't
right.
read. But that's just what he does, and it end up with a great outcome. So I call
Right.
him a research king.
Yeah,
So
and that's
yeah.
how you get the great outcome because he did his research. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes, exactly, exactly.
And I know
So
most of y'all decisions be off emotions. You know
to
what I
my
mean?
women,
So
oh
yeah,
no,
yeah,
men do too. Men do too.
yeah. I'm
They
saying
not
some of ours be off emotion, but most of ours we don't sat down and thought about it. Well, I know I do. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Y'all
I don't really operate off emotion.
y'all operate off emotion now. Now, I don't seen that happen. Not like even in our situation. Well, we don't make decision for us. Like if it's something, like I said, if it's something major or something, we don't really, we haven't really done that too often in our marriage. Now we might make a decision off emotion and say, "Well, I ain't going. I'm gonna
Yeah,
stay
yeah,
home," that type of
yeah.
thing. But like decisions around the house, decision regarding our daughter, because to us those are like things that could be make a major difference. So we
Right,
usually, even if I'm emotional about something or he feels a certain way, we just have always put a pause on it. Like, let's pause
right,
because we ain't in the right space to be making no decisions. Like I have said it, he have said it, and we have done it. Like, okay, let's just put a pause on it because right now I'm not feeling it. Or he might be like, right now I'm not feeling that. And then we just put a pause on it and we usually revisit it. And we have to revisit it because it's something that a decision need to be made.
right,
Like I told you, it was something simple as carpet. We didn't agree on it. And I'm like, no, I don't want that. Da, 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 da. And he was like, no, da, da, da. Then finally we came up with to a mutual agreement, like, okay, let's do this. Okay,
right,
let's put carpet here and not here, and and then move forward. Like we're about to do some work in our house now about changing the carpet and putting hardwood floors. But I haven't been able to find what I really, really like that match the hardwood floors that's already here. So we put a pause on it because he was like, this can go with it. But then I didn't kind of agree. And so we just said, well, let's put a pause on it
right,
because we got to find something that meet us halfway, you know, that we feel both feel comfortable with the decision
right.
moving forward. So yes, I'm
I
trying to
mean, like, I don't really like stuff like that. I don't really care nothing about. You know what I mean? That's why I say, get me downstairs. You can have the whole upstairs. You can do what you want to do.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Long as it ain't outrageous. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I don't really care nothing about it. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
me,
exactly.
I'm gonna worry about the real life situation. You can decorate how you want to. I don't.
So you
That
just so let me say this. So I know you say you want the whole downstairs.
Hmm.
So is it, you said it's okay for her to come downstairs, but she
Yeah,
just got to come downstairs in peace.
that's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
That's funny because that always be a problem when I tell them that. Oh, I'm coming downstairs. I said I never said you couldn't come downstairs. I'm just saying. Oh, that's where I'm going to get my peace at. If we arguing, I don't. I'm going downstairs to get away from you. That don't mean bring the argument downstairs. No, I'm going
Exactly.
downstairs so I can get a level head, so I won't say nothing crazy. Because, like I say, like I don't talk cute at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then if my voice changed, people seem to think I'm hollering, and I'd be like, I'm not even mad. What you mean? I'm just talking about something that might be intense, or it might mean something to me, so my
Something to,
voice don't change.
yes.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? But that don't mean I'm mad. If you see me when I'm mad, you'll see the difference.
So what's the
You know,
shift though? Why would she think you shifting in your voice?
because like when I'm chilling, like now, my voice be a little deeper. But
Hmm.
if I'm on my mind, my voice might go up an octave. It ain't gonna be
Okay.
light, but it change.
So that
And then,
means you're
like
a
I
little
say, I didn't.
irritated.
Right, right.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
But like I say, if it's a problem, and I tell you to give me a minute, I'm not trying to avoid you. I'm
You
trying to
just
make sure what I
you
say
just need to
ain't gonna come
readjust.
out wrong.
See, that's me. I'm like, okay, give me a minute
Right,
because I need to readjust and get my thoughts together because I want to be clear about what I'm
right,
about to say. And there's no like, oh no, that's not what I meant. I
right,
said that, but that's I really meant this. But yeah, I'm using that. That's usually me. I'm like, give me a minute. I need to read. I need to think about this before I say it because I
right,
know I'm bad with saying things before I think sometimes. And it's
right,
like that's the part I have always had to work on because be honest with you, my brain before I can get it in my brain, I already don't spoke it out. And I'm like,
right,
oh my gosh, that's not what I wanted to come out. But it just is out. It's already out. So usually I take a minute if it's something that we really need to talk about. If it's something we just talking randomly, I'm just letting it, just talking. But for the
right,
most part, I usually try to say, give me a minute, let me think about it. He would be more like, he'll just get kind of quiet a little bit, and I know he need a minute. And I'm like, so what you
right,
think? He be like, well, I don't know. And I'll be like, well, and then usually I say, well, I'm gonna give you a minute to think about it. And they don't mean a minute. They mean like it might be a couple of days. It might be a couple of days, and we might revisit the subject, and then we come back to it, and I'm like, hey, you ready to talk about what we was talking about? And then he might say yes, and he be like, well, I was still thinking about some stuff about it. I'm like, okay, so let me know when you're ready. Or he'll
right,
say, well, baby, you want to talk about? And I'm like, no, not right now. And then we pretty much know it's not time. And then we'll
right,
come back to it. And then when we ready, then we come back to it, and it's a different way of how we might talk about it. Now it's almost like both of us have had time to think about it and kind of digest it. So now when we come and talk about it, it's usually not irritating either him or myself, whoever it might be, is not as irritating because now I don't have time to think about what it is he asked, or he might have time to think about what it is I asked, and then
right,
just really think about it and say, you know what he said, the suggestion he made wasn't that bad. And I might say, but why did I get irritated about it? And then I think about it more. I'm like, oh, I know the part that he said. And then it'll make me be like, oh, I know the part you said. This the part I didn't understand. And then I might ask a question. Now,
right,
sometimes when I ask a question, he might be like, babe, are you being funny? You just keep asking questions. I was like, no, seriously, I don't understand. I'm just trying to make sure I'm clear. And I might repeat the question. And we learned that years ago in a marriage class because the military does like different marriage retreats and things like that. We haven't been on one in years because of him moving and COVID, but we usually do one at least once every 2 years or something, and they're usually really nice retreats, and they kind of and I have enjoyed those over the years because it kind of teach you. That's how I learned about tapping. I learned in the pre-marriage court class about love language, and then we learned even more one retreat we went on with the military, and they talked about love languages. But that's one thing I was about to say. Oh yeah, with the retreat, that's one thing I like about those retreats because it's almost like you're there with other couples, and then you get to see different people perspective and their relationship as a married couple, and it's interesting. And sometimes
Right.
the guys, it's split between the guys and the girls. You have some women that's more lean more like on the men's side, and some men lean on the one on the women's side. It just depends. I really think it just depends on the woman and the male, because
Right.
like I have gotten over the years, like even before I got married, even my brothers, my I'm the oldest, they used to always say, you think just like a guy sometime, like that's what I would think. So I just think it just depends on the woman. Are you
Right.
real whiny? Because I'm not real whiny. A bit more,
Right.
my husband say hard, but I don't know what that means. Like, what does that mean?
You don't seem like you hard. You
I
seem
think
well mannered.
I think he'd say hard because um I'm not a crier easily. You know how some
Right.
women may cry easily, like I'm not that type. I'm more of a like, oh, okay, that type. So that's
Right.
why sometimes he like, sometimes I don't be knowing you be acting like you're hard, and I'm like, but I'm not. I just, over the years that like I told him, as we had got to know each other, he realized I do have that sensitivity side. I'm just not one of those females that easily cry. I'm more of a,
Right.
oh, okay, and it probably do bother me, but I'm not a whiner. I'm gonna say what I say, and that's gonna be it.
Right. And I know when you kind of nonchalant, that kind of scare me because most men, most men usually they won't raise in hell. So if he get one that be calm, he be like, "Hold on, wait a minute, something ain't right." You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, and it's so funny because he said when you fuss or if you talk about something a lot, I'm like, okay. He said, but when you get quiet, I'm like, oh yeah, she mad. Wait a minute, let me see what's going on in her head.
yeah,
But I guess, like my brother said, the girls he dated, even though I'm married, the ones he dated, they more of a whiners. Like
right.
I don't do that. Like I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, I'm more nonchalant about it. And then I'm already brainstorming. So I'm not about to go back and forth too long. I'm like, okay, we'll talk about that later and then move forward. And I think that's what sometimes the problem comes. We don't give each other, like, people in relationships, to me, it's sometimes you gotta give people that moment. It's like we want that quick response. We want it to happen now. Like I
Right.
want to see you
Right.
now.
Right.
And sometimes it may not happen right then. Each person might need a moment.
Right.
You might need a moment. Then it might be his turn. He might need a moment. Because men do
Oh
have
yeah.
men do not have physical cycles, but they have cycles.
Right.
I'm talking about like menstrual cycles.
That's
They don't
funny.
physically bleed, but they have
So
the emotional.
you
They
think
emotional.
you think men? I
Yes,
don't know. Well, I don't think I got now. I'll say that. Like,
you
but
have
I'm
one.
sure. Yeah, I'm sure people say one like I catch an attitude in a minute, but some
Yeah,
stupid shit.
that's it.
Like if it's
That's it.
stupid, like I don't because I feel
Yeah.
like you're wasting my time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, Shawty, you already know better. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, come on, man. But
Yes. Yes.
but men have got a lot more emotional now.
Oh,
I
they
have
have.
noticed that a lot.
They have.
Yeah. Oh man, it's like the roles are reversed. The women are more harder now, and the men are more emotional. I'd be like, oh,
And I think because
I don't get it.
I feel like some of our black men, and I love it, they're because they're stepping up. Because you're finding now where the men are taking care of the kids, like, and they're absent mothers
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah,
So they're
yeah,
having to
yeah.
tap into their sensitivity, just especially if they have a daughter. They have to tap into those emotions where they normally would not have tapped into those emotions, not on a regular, and I think
Right.
it has caused them to be a little bit more humble because I don't seen a lot more single fathers than I ever seen. Like, where's the mother?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
she in the street somewhere.
yeah.
Yeah,
But they love to paint the picture that we ain't shit. But black
that's
fathers are some of the most participating parents out of
mm-hmm.
all of them. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes,
yeah, if like I know a lot of great black daddies. You know what I mean? Like they
yes,
really involved in their child life, but we don't get no credit for it.
and it's sad that they
And I
don't.
think a lot of yeah, yeah, it really is. And I think a lot of that sensitivity too is coming from all these women raising these boys. Because I see a
Mm-hmm.
lot of women let their sons do everything. I be like, look, shout, come on,
Yeah,
man. He can't.
yeah.
Nah, that ain't good for no boy.
And
I'm telling
that I
you.
don't
Like I
even.
tell women,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was gonna say I don't even
and I
think it's
tell women,
that is the women raising the boys because think about it. A lot of women was raising the boys then. I think it's the lack of being.
yeah, but the father was around. Fathers, not even if they weren't in the house, a lot of father was still around. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Now these fathers are absent. Period. You know what I mean?
yeah, yes. What he say? Where's Tyrone? Is it
He
Tyrone?
said the CDC, yeah. He said the CDC said childbearing black women are 14% of the population and obtain 36% of the abortions.
Six of the
They have
question.
the most abortions,
Mm.
474 per 1,000 births. 19 million black babies have been aborted since 73. Damn,
But you know what?
that's a lot of people.
I can, but I mean, but think about it. They're saying that, but we only 14%. White folks get abortions. They just don't report it. It's
Yeah,
almost like that
right, right,
statistical
right, right.
thing. Sometimes it's hard to believe some of the statistics because it can be flawed. It could be kind of like where
Yeah,
they're making it seem like kind of. I'm gonna use a perfect example. Back in the day, I remember I used to think like oh, it's a black people, on welfare and all that, but we make up the least percentage. Caucasian make up the
right,
larger percentage,
right.
but we have
Oh, of
always
course.
been drilled that we take advantage of the system or whatever, but our percentage is so low
Right.
that but it's that same thing making you give you the illusion that blacks are kind of like that beneath thing,
That's right.
making us feel,
Yep.
like,
It's an
and it's
illusion.
all statistic. They don't report everything. Like the first thing you'll see is
Right.
a black person, but I want to see those same statistics being constantly reported about other races. It's not. So it's kind of like trying
Right.
to get us to have this image of our own race and not realizing we're the minority in that. Okay, what's that percentage for the other people? Is much higher.
Right.
What he
Oh
say?
yeah. Like they gonna always make us try to make us look bad, and they not
Mm-hmm.
gonna report theirs. Like it's more white people on welfare
It
than
is.
it
It
is black
is.
people.
It
You know what I
is.
mean? So,
And
but
fraudulent.
they not gonna put that narrative out there. Yeah,
Mm-mm,
yeah. They're not gonna put that narrative out there.
mm-mm.
You know what
They're
I
not.
mean? That's why I can't believe how even black people knowing all this, they still fall into it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm,
Like they still listen to it and
mm-hmm.
judge by it. I'll be like,
Yes.
you already know they not gonna put a good narrative out there. Black people they ain't did it in all these years.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? So they
Yeah,
not finna start now.
and they not, and it's so funny because we just had Black History, and when you look at all the
Right,
things that were created, it was created by a black person. You like,
Oh yeah.
girl, they made
Oh yeah.
stop, they made a stoplight, and you don't even realize it because, like you just said, it's not put out there. Like, you know,
Right.
anything too good is just not put out there. It's
Right.
just not. I mean, it has to be
And
something
then
really.
we don't even value a lot of stuff like that. Like we
Mm-hmm.
put a lot of stock into athletes and rappers and singers and actors, and
Yes.
but the people that's inventing shit and really making some contributions, we don't. They don't get no credit. Don't
Yes.
nobody talk about it.
None.
You know what I mean? Every now and then you'll see some article or something that's talking about a black person
Yes.
invented this too, and we'd be like, hold on, man, we done did a whole
Yes.
lot of shit. Like I remember
We
they
should.
used to steal our music and say they did it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, hey
Especially back in the
man.
day, yeah, a lot of that went on,
But
but it was our
yeah,
music.
yeah,
But I wanted to say this because it just came
right,
across my mind. About um black men. Like there, we have so much power, like black men, and I think that's why so many times, they're stereotyped certain ways and things like that because of the strength that you guys have. I mean, it's so powerful
right,
because when
right.
you come together, I'm talking
Oh
about
yeah,
when I mean, even when you think about Martin Luther King, when all the black men are through, the march and all that, it's just like that power in which you see that force, it becomes something like unreal that you can't even really put words to when you see black men come together and really unite. And it's such a humbling feeling too, for me when I see it, is because it's so powerful,
right,
and I just wish we
yeah.
kind
And
of.
everybody understand the power we got except us.
Mm-hmm.
We don't
Exactly.
realize how much power we got, but everybody knows that about us. That's why they keep make sure that we scared of each other. They make sure
Mm-hmm.
they keep tension between us, like because they
Mm-hmm.
don't want us to unite. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? They don't. If Boy, if we ever united, like we spend more money than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
All the material bullshit, man. They don't buy that
Yeah.
shit. They make that shit for us and make it seem like we not supposed to have it, which make you want it more. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Like we love to get something that we feel like we ain't got no business with, or something that can't nobody else get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's why I when someone say like the thing, like say I use, like when people say, "Oh, black men don't take care of their babies and they cheat." I'm like,
Yeah.
what black men you been around?
Right.
Like, I guess
Right. Right.
like the ones I have been around, like my brothers, I see how well they're younger, and I see not that much younger, but they're young. Like my baby brother is almost 40; he's not in his 40s yet, but um, they take care of their kids, and
Yep.
they're for as I know and from what I see, they're very faithful. And I would even say, like,
Yep.
I can't see everywhere my husband go, but I truly believe he has been faithful throughout our marriage. Like, I have never
Right.
encountered any situation, because at some point you're going to encounter something, whether you want to or not. I just feel like
Right.
you don't have to search, you don't have to look. Things will be revealed to you, and I just
Oh
truly,
yeah.
I have always believed that. Like going to somebody's phone and doing that whole thing, about to me is more like an insecurity
Oh
thing.
no, I don't do none of that. I don't.
I just feel like you don't have to
Right.
do that, because if something is going on, I promise you, I would bet every dime in my banking account that is going to be revealed without you even doing anything.
Oh yeah.
But
That's
I
it.
just think there are
If it's
some
meant for you to see
faithful.
it, you'll see it.
Yeah, I believe that there are many, and some people are like, I don't know where you been. I believe there are many faithful men out there. I really do. And maybe I'm looking at it from my perspective because my husband is faithful, but I really believe that in my heart.
Yeah,
And I
of
believe
course.
that
Of
we
course.
bring when people bring in negative energy from what they experience with someone else, and they automatically start to
Yep.
say, "Oh, he's a cheater," but you haven't even seen him do anything. But you already saying, "Oh, I don't trust him." Okay, so what have he done? Because it sounds
Right.
like you're using your old previous experience to project on your new experience because you see something that looks similar but is not
Right.
similar. It's just. And I just feel like when you do that, you haven't totally
Right.
healed from the past relationship. And you like once again, like I said before, you need to do a whole self cleansing, whole self readjustment, get away from a relationship till you get that under wrap and you're truly ready to move forward in a relationship. Because until you do that,
Right.
it's going to keep failing because you're going to be doing the same thing, projecting that energy from what you experienced on someone who haven't even did
Right.
anything.
Right.
So,
And I tell people all the time, if you think negative, you're gonna get negative results. And it take the same amount of energy to think of something positive. It
hmm
take the same amount of energy to have a positive affirmation instead of a negative affirmation. You know what I
true,
mean? Like, and people don't understand. If you expect positive, you'll get positive. I don't go looking for nothing. You
true.
know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna find out when I need to find out. You know
hmm
what I mean? And even if I feel like say cheating, even if I feel like you cheat, you don't even have to be done cheated. But if I get that feeling that you done cheated, I'm gonna leave you alone anyway. Because I ain't got no business feeling like
But how you
that.
know it's not your own? But you haven't found
I
anything.
don't. No, but I'm saying I trust me. And
But
anytime I ever
what if that
second,
is a good
anytime I ever
woman?
second, I'm saying,
Okay,
well,
so
I shouldn't feel like that.
I'm gonna give you this example. Okay,
And
so
hey,
if
Miss Felicia, I see you, Miss Felicia.
if you have a great woman, like give me an example
Mm-hmm.
of a situation where you felt that way because it had to be some patterns that that person was doing that you start to think that something shifted in the relationship because you ain't just starting to feel like that. There had to be a shift in the
Right,
relationship, the way she was moving with situations, some of the stuff the information she was giving you seemed untrue because I can't see you just blankly just because you had this instinct cutting them off without truly knowing that it was something because you have to be sure you're not thinking about or putting the energy out there of some similar experiences. Like you have to be sure
see
there's not
me,
that.
I
So give
pay
me an
attention to
example,
you when
Black.
you think
Give me
I'm
an
not.
example.
I'm
Give me
saying,
an example.
like, all right, well, I'll tell you this one girl stayed with me, and that's back when we had house phone, and I never answered my house phone because if somebody got that house number, 9 times out of 10, it's a bill collector or some
Mm-hmm.
telemarketer or something. But I ain't never gave nobody that number,
Mm-hmm.
so I wasn't answering my phone. Then one day I just so happened to answer the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Come to find out, it's a dude calling for her, and I'm
Okay,
like,
what is
what
yeah.
nigga would
Okay.
be? Nah, but I'm saying when I first felt like when I first felt like she was doing something or cheating or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I overlooked. Like I had the feeling,
Okay.
but I overlooked because I didn't
Yes.
have no evidence.
Okay.
Okay, now
Okay.
here come the evidence. You know what I mean? Like anytime I ever second guess myself, it always blew up in my face.
Backfire.
That's why I don't like. I pay attention to you when you think I ain't paying attention.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I really do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
I watch how you move. So
Yes.
and then when I see some, you know what I mean. If I see certain things, I'm not gonna bring it to your attention. I'm gonna keep seeing how you move.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean. And
So
then, like I
it
say,
goes
it
back
like
to it goes back to what I said. Usually there's an energy shift. Like something is
right,
different. you notice something different. Like you said,
Yeah.
even though the evidence ended up being the phone ringing, but before the phone started ringing, he was slipping up doing something. You see, you understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it made you pay attention a little bit
Yeah.
more. Be like, wait a minute. Yeah, you don't know him do that. Where you get that from? But you ain't
Right.
said to her where you get that from. You keep it in your Rolodex where she get that from.
Right.
And it
Right.
just
But I'm
stacked up.
saying, like, I ain't gotta actually catch you in the act of cheating. If I feel like it's a chance, I'm telling you, I will walk away from it because I like I say, I be scared of me. If I
Mhm.
catch you in the act, hey man, it might be an ugly
Boo
sight.
boo.
So I go ahead and get out of there before it happens. Like I say, I'm scared of me because
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
if I'm gonna be good in the relationship, everybody gonna be good. Like no,
Yes,
I
that's how.
mean,
But that's how it
if
should be.
I'm gonna
But
do
that's
right, everybody gonna goddamn do right.
yeah. But that's how it
But
should be
you know what I mean.
because
And then like I say, I don't want to catch you in the act.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I already know. Then I really I ain't gonna fuck with you. I don't give a damn what happened. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Like,
Yes.
because I gave you my trust,
Mm-hmm.
and if I give you my trust and hey man, you fucked that up. I don't want to
And
fuck with you
that's
at all.
why when I was telling, I can't think of his name who was on with us last time. What was his name?
John,
The
John,
young, was it John? And that's why I told
yeah,
John what I
John.
said, even though I definitely understand it biblically. Like, no, the hands, I understand it. I'm a Christian. I understand that completely. However, once again, to me, if I'm dedicated to the marriage and I could remain faithful, and like I said, I'm human, I have temptations too, but I don't act on those temptations. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right,
I think you should be faithful when you're in your marriage or any relationship. Some people choose not to get married, but I think any relationship that you're with a partner or, this day and time, whatever your partner look like, um, you should be faithful regardless. And if you don't want to be faithful, I would say stay single. Being single, you can do whatever
right.
you want. Like you can do whatever you want. Nobody can question you, ask you nothing. You could do. I'm sorry. You can do whatever you want while being single. So, but people want to be selfish because they desire to be in a relationship, but they still want to do what they want to do, which to me is selfish. And
Right,
I'm like you. If I can be
right.
faithful and stay committed to you, I feel like it requires the same energy from you because, as I said in our last um, podcast that we did, it take a lot of energy to cheat, and along the way of cheating,
Yeah,
you thought about me. You thought about me, so that's why I wouldn't tolerate that. You have to plan around the person
right.
who you're with. You have to lie. So every aspect of that, you had to think about the person that you're with. And because of that is why I have never been tolerant of someone cheating, whether marriage or just in a secular, whatever type of relationship. I just have never tolerated it. Like even before I got married, if I find out you cheat or you cheat, the relationship is done. Like there's no talking about it. There's no reconciling. There's none of that. I just because I feel like at that point the trust is lost. And I'm like I said, I'm a carefree, go lucky. If you tell me you're going to the moon and back, okay, baby, go to the moon and back. I'm be chilling right here, enjoying myself. And then when you get back, I'll see you when you come back from the moon. But then I found out you didn't go to the moon and back. You went to, Mars somewhere. You went somewhere else to the stars.
Right,
Like, wait a minute. That's not what you told me. And that means you now it
right.
create that mistrust. And I think it takes a lot of energy when you don't have trust in a relationship because now you're arguing about are you going where you say you're going and all that. And to me, that's a lot of energy. That takes a lot of energy.
Oh
And
yeah,
I don't want to
oh
waste that
yeah.
type of energy, like at all. And I do know
Right,
people do work through that. Like I have some friends, and I don't question how people work through their marriages. I just know I couldn't work through it. Like that wouldn't be an option for me because I am
Right.
that carefree type person, and you know I trust you. I give you 100%. I know some people say, "Oh, I give them 80, and they have to work the other 20." But why do a person have to work for something they haven't even gave you a mistrust yet?
Right.
So yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, man. And me, I don't. If I put that trust in you, hey, man, that's the worst thing you can do is defy that trust. I'm telling you, like I have to get you away from me. 'Cause, hey, man, like, cause I'm one of the most loyal people I know. You know what I
Yes,
mean? And
yes,
yeah, so I don't really tolerate a lot of bullshit coming at me because I don't give out a lot of bullshit. You know what I mean?
exactly,
So nah, man, I gotta. Mm. And if I can't trust you, I don't want to be around you at all.
exactly.
If I
That's
don't
why
respect you, I don't want to be around you at all.
that's why I don't understand why some people um, get married and then they cheat. Most time they was already a cheater before they got married, and I'm like, that's marriage not going to change that behavior. Like you
Right.
have to
That's
change that
right.
behavior. If you're
That's
not ready to
right.
change that behavior, don't go into a marriage. And most time it's somebody that they know, like either female or male. They're like, oh, she's a good woman or he's a good man. I don't want to lose them. But you're going to lose them anyway at some point if your behavior doesn't change. And so that's the
Right.
part I can't kind of wrap my mind around and clearly understand when people thoughts on that process. I can't quite wrap my mind around it. It's crazy to
Right.
me.
And I seen a video today where a girl was talking about if she can even get caught in the act, but she gonna deny, or act like she got raped or say that
Wait
was
a
my
minute.
twin or something. I'm like, hey
So
man,
she gonna go to that extreme,
yeah.
even if the person
Instead
see
of just
her, she
admitting it,
gonna say that's not her.
right?
So she must not be married. So she's
Nah,
saying
she can't be.
so because if you're married, more than likely your spouse would know all your kinfolks and know whether or not you're a twin.
Right.
So I don't know how she's gonna get
Well,
around that.
well, hey man, I guess she keep the confusion up and hope a nigga let it pass or something. I don't know. I didn't understand the logic to it.
Yeah, I
Cause
don't
she talking about
understand.
some if he found out the truth, he gonna leave you anyway. Well, Charlie, tell him the truth then. If you already know he gonna leave,
But my thing is,
evidently you feel like it's something better out there for you. So
yeah, and my thing is, why don't she just change her behavior and not do it?
right, right,
Like I don't get it. Like let's communicate. Let's figure out what we need to do. Like let's start back dating. I just don't understand how messing with somebody else is going to fix the relationship that you're in.
right,
It's
right,
just going to cause more confusion and possibly get somebody hurt really bad. Because I don't know if you remember, it was
right.
a couple of years back in Decatur. It was his teacher. He was messing with these two ladies. Um, and I don't know if he was a principal at the school. I know all of them lived in Decatur. And the mistress that he was messing with, he was married. The lady that he was messing with, the wife didn't even know he was cheating. Well, the mistress, they say the mistress went to their home. So obviously she either followed him home or he brought her to the house before. Um, and
Right.
confronted the wife because she wanted to be with him. But obviously he must say he not leaving his wife or gave her some kind of excuse of why he's staying. And she ended up killing not only the wife, she killed herself. But I'm like, but this joker's still living. So
Yeah, I think I remember that. Yeah, yeah,
yes, it was crazy. And a lot of people's like the wife didn't even realize he was cheating. But yeah, she killed the wife and killed herself too. I mean, I don't know what that gonna do. Because he's
and
still
like,
able to
I
go
don't, I don't,
and sleep with
I
somebody
don't
else.
understand why. Right, like I don't understand why when it changed to well, the side woman start want to be the woman.
Hey,
Like,
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
I
That
know for me when I was out there doing my thing, I never wanted to be your number one.
hmm
You're a cheater. You
yeah,
cheating with me.
yeah,
So what's gonna make me want to get in that spot? You know what I mean? Like, no. And see, I'm not a fool to think that one day it ain't gonna happen to me.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, now, if the right opportunity come, you'll cheat on me too. So,
yes,
nah, I'm not. I'm not gonna put that much trust in you.
yes,
I
yes.
don't.
That's the part
And
I
then I
don't.
see how you do your main. Yeah, I
Yes,
don't.
you cheat with me on him. But then I think I was supposed to be the main squeeze. No, I could never be the main squeeze because you can
Right,
leave him and get with me and be comfortable for that moment. But once again, if that behavior urge come again, you're gonna cheat on me with the
right,
next dude. So
right,
I know people
right,
say people change. They probably do, but I wouldn't want to be a part of that. I would want you to if I was single, I would want you to come to me and I wasn't a part of a cheating cycle with you. It was like a fresh start. If somebody
right.
was single,
Yeah,
now if you was part of a cheating cycle with them and they left their mate to be with you, then you're gonna definitely get cheated on at some point.
right,
Or, or
right,
even if she didn't cheat on you, let me say this. Even if she did not cheat on you, you're gonna be insecure in the relationship because you knew
right,
how you got her or him. So you're going to have some
right.
insecurities in a relationship because of that. Even if
Yeah,
there's no cheating going on, you're going to automatically assume different events or things happen that's what's going on, even if it's not happening, because that illusion is in your head based on how you got with that person.
right.
So
Hey man,
I don't
I
know.
don't get it. Uh, like you can't be my girl and another nigga side piece or basically his hoe. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But you can be his girl and my hoe. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like I ain't got no ties, I ain't got no strings, so I don't care. But nah, man, I ain't never wanted to move up. If you lose him, you lose us. Like I don't want that spot. Yeah,
wait a minute.
tell me y'all done broke up. Shit,
I
we
just
all done
caught
broke up.
Wait a minute, I just caught that one black.
Yeah,
You say you lose him, you lose us.
yeah, you lose both of us because I'm not trying to move up into that number one spot. You can have that motherfucker. I don't.
I like that. You lose him, you lose us.
Yeah, no. Stay where you at now, cause hey, he doing his thing. He taking care of you. You better stay there,
hmm
cause I
Say
can't I
let
can't
that
do
continue that way.
it.
Hmm
Yeah, it got to. Yeah, cause you might try to move me up to his spot. I don't want his spot. No.
Exactly. I really would like to know, like I would like to know, like men and women. Um, like I said, I know it's not for everybody, but when I would like to know those who say, "Well, I don't want to be like tied down to someone like for his marriage like that." But then you date someone and you stay with them for 10, 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
And then
Right. Yeah.
something happened to them, you reap no benefits. And that happened to my aunt.
Yeah.
She dated a guy for some years. He was still married to his wife. He died, even though him and the wife was not together for years. She was entitled. She put her right on out
Oh
that
yeah,
house. She put her right out the house.
yeah,
Older couple now.
yeah.
She came and put her and her kids
Oh
put her
yeah,
out the
yeah.
house. So
Oh yeah,
she was left with nothing. And
yeah,
so that's the part I don't quite understand. Even though I know it's not for
yeah.
everybody.
That first wife get everything. If
Mhm.
they never get a divorce, yeah, she entitled to everything.
Mhm.
The second wife, if he divorced his first wife and then he married again, the second wife only get half of it. His half goes to
To
his
his
kids.
children if he
Like that's
have
what,
kids.
yeah, right, right.
Mhm.
And that's what happened when my
That is.
father passed. And
Uh-huh.
we thought that shit, the second wife get everything, but she only
Mm-mm.
got half of
No.
it, and
Mm-mm.
the other came back to us. But
Yeah,
if he'd have
because
stayed married to my mama would have got everything.
everything, yeah. And then even with being married to your mom, y'all would have gave her everything, but you guys were still entitled to your daddy's portion. It just work out that way when you're married and it's your mom and your biological mom and father. But you're still entitled to the
Right,
same thing, even though that's your mom. You most time people don't operate like that because it's your mom and your dad. You
right,
just say, you know, this to my mom. Until something happened to mom, then we'll split everything. But you still have that same
right,
entitlement. It's just that people don't use it because, that's your mom and dad. But now if it's somebody outside of
right,
your biological mom and dad, of course you're gonna use it because, you know, I want some of what my father had or whatever. But yeah, that I always wanted to ask some people who were not married and they make those statements. Like, what is your perspective behind that? To say, oh
right,
no, but then you be with him for 15 years and you
right,
entitled to nothing. Like not a retirement check, not a social security check, nothing, but you have invested in the relationship. You have invested, you have done everything as though you were married, but you don't get the same benefits as being a married couple. Even though
right.
I know they're trying to
Like
change
I,
some things with this whole law with the partners, but you're still not entitled to everything.
right. And I was actually just having this conversation earlier today. You know
Uh-huh.
what I mean? And like when it comes to you being sick too, like she can't. The outside lady can't make no decision. That should be on
Mm-mm.
your family. So they
Mm-hmm.
was like, and they was telling me about it. They were like, "No, Black Sea." But see, like, I always wonder why. Like, I know some ladies that done been separated for. One lady I was dealing with, she had been separated for 19 years, and I'm like, "Shawty, why you ain't
Yeah,
got
you the
divorced?"
divorce.
And she was like, "Nah, he do his thing, I do mine. We don't bother each other." But then when I started learning about all the stuff that come with if he pass away and you
Yeah,
get
she
all,
did.
I'm like, "Oh, okay," you know what I mean? But I'm like,
That's why.
women, boy, boy, they play the game wrong. they they
Yes.
always looking out for them. But and then she got mad with me because I couldn't get serious with her. And I'm like, baby, honestly,
No,
somebody still got legal ties to you. If I fall in love with you, I can't even marry you. You know what I mean? So
I can't do nothing.
no, we're gonna be all right. We can kick it, but nah, I'm not trying to get tied up like that.
Yeah, you could do
But
nothing. You nothing. You'll be wasting a whole bunch of
yeah,
time and energy knowing the
right,
way you went into. Kind of like goes back to what I always say when people get married and it's like, oh, he'll change or she'll change. No, they're not. They're gonna be the same person when you say them I
right,
do. Like people
right,
who they are. Like you got to be ready for to marry somebody that is that way, or a smoker or a drinker and you don't like it, or a bad attitude, or poor spender, financial
right,
habits. You got to be ready for that because they're not going to change just because you went and said I do. Like
Right.
that doesn't change that person. Y'all just legal, and they still gonna have them same habits, and you just either you deal with them or you go get the a divorce or something. But my thing is, I
Right.
feel like divorce is not justified because you went in already knowing those, so that can't be the reason. Like you can't make that the
Right.
reason. Oh, I'm divorcing
Right.
them because they drink. And the first thing I'm like, they were drinking when you got with them. They been alcoholic then,
Right.
and
Right.
you
And you probably drunk with him.
yes, and you chose to
Yeah.
still marry him, knowing he was an
Right.
alcoholic. You know, so
Right.
I don't know. It's like people come up with a reason why when they want to get out of the situation when technically that's not a reason why because that's nothing new. Tell me something new that happened.
Right.
Like he started
Right.
knocking inside your head. Okay, yeah, it's time to go. It's time
Oh
to go.
yeah.
But if he's a drinker coming in, he did that was not something that you didn't know about going into the relationship. You should have never even married
Right.
him. So it's
Right.
things like that kind of puzzle me when people say, "Oh, girl, I divorced him because he drink too much," and I'm like, "Oh, girl, your man been drinking. He used to
Right.
drink then, and I used to be like, girl, is he okay?" Be like, "Yeah, girl, he get drunk like that all the time. It's just now that you don't want to deal with it, but you should have made
Right.
that back then and not now that you're at this point in your life you don't want to deal with it." Because I always tell people those same habits, either you're gonna like them now or you gonna if you don't like them now, you're gonna really hate them later. You're gonna
Right.
really hate them later.
Right.
So be sure
Right.
if you're willing to deal with someone with certain type of habits that you know you're not, ready for. Kind of like I said when I met my husband, he didn't drink or smoke because I didn't drink or smoke. So I didn't really want to date anybody else that drink or smoke. Um, and get married to them. Not that I have anything against it because now I have several friends. It's not about. I just didn't want it in the house with me. So I
Right.
was like, oh, I don't want that. And then I didn't want anybody, like I said, that had kids because everybody I dated had kids, and I just wanted a fresh start, being able to date someone to see how it was without kids, someone without kids, and then just to have a fresher start. So, not saying that it make the relationship any better. No, it just was something, one of my want or desire checkbox that I was not budging off of. Even if it turned out I did not ever get married, those were certain bullet points that I was not going to compromise. And I think for men and women,
Right.
sometimes we compromise on things we feel strongly about, and because now we were like, man, I'm tired of being by myself. And so you start to settle and you start to compromise. And then you get in that relationship and you're miserable. And you know why you're miserable? Because you compromise on those vital things that you said you would not. And then those are
Oh
the things
yeah.
that irritate you the most in the relationship. And you end up
Yep.
dissolving the
That's
relationship.
right. That's right.
So I can definitely relate
Well,
when you
look,
say,
man. I know you said that you might have to get off here in an hour. You know what I mean?
yes,
I know it's getting late, so
yes,
we done gave him an hour. You know what I
yes.
mean? We're not gonna hold it any longer.
Yeah, because I'm going to
But
go in there and some Z's.
well, I want to thank y'all for coming back to the Papa Black podcast. And like I say, I start being more regular, just trying to get all this organized so we can start benefiting from it and not just on here talking. And we get a set schedule where people can log in, looking forward to it. So instead of me just popping up randomly like that, but I want to thank you again
You're
for
welcome.
having this conversation with me. You know
Yes.
what I mean? So
And hope we'll
anything
get
you got, you want to?
some more men on here and get their perspective on a lot of different topics, like even the one about, raising kids and things like that. And
Yeah, yeah.
yes. like to hear their
Well,
views.
I know. John will get on here with me, and another one of my homeboys said he want to come on here because he said y'all be trying to double team me and all that, but you know,
Really?
I see what I see what he got. I'm like Pip, I can handle all of it. They don't bother me. But I like it when they get, you know what I mean, when we have some
Yeah,
difference of opinion because people
yes.
don't think alike.
They
Like I
don't.
like other people's opinion. You know what I
Me
mean?
too.
So
Yes.
and
Makes
I
you think
always
about
like to
things
see
in a different
another
way. Sometimes they get you to think about
right,
things in a
right,
different way, the way that you never thought about it. Like, "Well, I never thought about that. Okay. Yes.
right,
Yes.
right.
But we must
Well,
do
you go
this.
ahead and get you some sleep, man. Yeah, we I told you we can whatever's a good day for you. Just let me know and we'll do it.
Okay. I'm gonna have to get some people, get some of my girlfriends on here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Tell them they welcome to come. I'm not that bad. I'm
I'm like,
not that
he's
bad.
not a grizzly, but he's a bear, but he's just not a grizzly
Nah,
bear. And I just,
nah.
yeah, okay. Okay, then, Black.
But you take it easy and get you
Okay,
some rest,
until
sweetheart.
next time. Okay.
All right. All right.
Bye bye.